Class, today if you'll listen, we'll learn the planets in the solar system. Every planet in its right place, from our star the sun out to interstellar space. Yeah. Planets and moons, asteroids and comets all fit the tune. The very first planet next to the sun is Mercury. It's the only one without a trace of atmosphere. Its surface is a cratered sphere. Each crater punched by a planetesimal, from great big ones to the infinitesimal. It has no moon and the way it spun to make 3 turns for every 2 around the sun. Slow a spin, it's sure to yield only a bit of magnetic field. The next planet out is the goddess of love, Venus the name, and just above. The horizon at dusk, but not too far, is a place to see as an evening star. About the same as the Earth in size, this is a planet shrouded by clouded skies, which block our view of its surface layer, but radar lets us look in there. The atmosphere is of CO2, which lets the visible sunlight through. But traps the heat, yes that's correct. It makes a super greenhouse effect. Because of that, its temp is top, its clouds are sulfuric acid drops. With the old volcano, Mount Maxwell, Venus resembles a heavenly hell. Next planet out is our own Earth. I hope by now you could see its worth. As a place that's safe for me and you, with its air of nitrogen and O2. You keep on moving out in space, and next find Mars as a landing place. CO2 is in the atmosphere there, very cold and very rare. The surface has canyons, craters, and dunes. Volcanic peaks to tiny moons. Polar caps, dry ice and snow. Dust storms when the Martian winds blow. Red in the sky like the god of war, half the size of Earth, then one thing more. Like all the inner planets, it has an iron core. Getting far from the sun where the ice won't melt, we pass across the asteroid belt. Then on to Jupiter, biggest of them all. It's a methane, hydrogen, helium ball. Bigger than the Earth by a factor of 10. It masses 300 times again. That of our little rocky sphere, but better to be little than be landed there. If you drop down into Jupiter cloud, though the colors of the belt are very loud. Guesses would send you a graveyard plot, especially those in the great red spot. If you name the moons, you'll find the list. Goes Io, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto. They're the biggest, almost the size of Mercury. Discovered long ago by Galileo Galilei. Jupiter also has a tiny ring, but if you want to see the real thing, go twice as far before you stop, and onto giant Saturn you let yourself drop. A lot like Jupiter in its size and composition, it carries on the mythological tradition. Jupiter was the god's own king. Saturn was a harvest god who signals for his ring. Alike in size for what they're worth are Uranus and Neptune, 4 times bigger than the Earth. Hydrogen and water with a rocky core that's hot. These 2 planets stay ancients in a spot. Uranus spins tipped over on its side. It has its rings, but not so wide as those on its bigger planetary brother, while its odd rotation makes it have odd weather. Neptune and Uranus look real blue, cause methane grabs the red light coming through. Methane's also all there is to see. On tiny Pluto, which is also icy. Moving out from Neptune, far from the sun, Pluto with Charon is the last found one of the solar system planets that we know. So out to the comet cloud we go. To the comet cloud we go. So out to the comet cloud we go. It's 40,000 AU to the vast Oort cloud, name of the place where the comets crowd. Passing stars make them dropping towards the sun, and Halley's comet is the best known one. If more than 100 times they pass the sun, they'll evaporate and boil away to gas. They leave behind a wake and tiny dust for the meteor shower you'll see in mid-August. There's lots more to see past the planets, my friend. But on this silly verse, we've finally reached the end. We need to rap about the stars sometime.
But it's hard work thinking up a serious rhyme.
Basically, I'm complicated. I have a hard time taking the easy way. I wouldn't call it schizophrenia, but I'll be at least 2 people today, if that's okay. And I could go on and on and on,
but who cares?
It's deep how you can be so shallow.